Living as LGBT in Kazakhstan, a comprehensive look. Introduction. Kazakhstan, the world's largest landlocked country and the 9th largest overall, is known for its rich history, diverse culture, and significant economic resources. Despite its secular constitution, the experiences of LGBT lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people in Kazakhstan are fraught with challenges and discrimination. This article explores what it is like to live as an LGBT person in Kazakhstan, delving into societal attitudes, legal frameworks, and the factors contributing to discrimination in a country that prides itself on being a secular state. Historical and cultural context. Historical background. Kazakhstan has a complex history that influences contemporary attitudes towards sexuality and gender identity. The country was part of the Soviet Union until its dissolution in 1991. During the Soviet era, homosexuality was criminalized, and although the law was repealed in 1997, the legacy of stigmatization persists. Traditional values and conservative attitudes, often reinforced by Soviet-era ideologies, continue to shape public perceptions. Cultural influences. Kazakh culture is deeply rooted in traditions and customs, many of which emphasize heteronormative family structures and gender roles. The influence of Islam, practiced by a majority of the population, also plays a significant role. Although Kazakhstan is a secular state, religious beliefs often inform social norms and attitudes towards LGBT individuals. This blend of traditionalism and religious influence creates an environment where deviations from conventional gender roles and sexual orientations are often viewed with suspicion or outright hostility. Legal framework. Decriminalization of homosexuality. Homosexuality was decriminalized in Kazakhstan in 1997, marking a significant shift from Soviet-era laws. However, this legal change did not equate to social acceptance. The lack of explicit legal protections for LGBT individuals means that discrimination and harassment are still widespread. There are no anti-discrimination laws specifically protecting LGBT people, and same-sex marriages or partnerships are not recognized. Freedom of expression and assembly. The Kazakhstani constitution guarantees freedom of expression and assembly, but these rights are frequently curtailed in practice, especially for marginalized groups. LGBT activists often face significant hurdles when organizing events or protests. Authorities have been known to deny permits for pride marches and other LGBT-related gatherings, citing public order concerns. This suppression of LGBT visibility further marginalizes the community and stifles efforts to advocate for their rights. Societal attitudes and discrimination. Public perception. Public attitudes towards LGBT individuals in Kazakhstan are generally negative. According to surveys, a majority of Kazakhs hold conservative views on sexuality and gender identity, often influenced by traditional values and religious beliefs. Homophobia and transphobia are widespread, and many people believe that being LGBT is unnatural or a Western import that threatens local customs and values. Family and social pressure. Family plays a central role in Kazakh society, and many LGBT individuals face immense pressure to conform to heteronormative expectations. Coming out can lead to rejection, ostracism, and even violence. The concept of saving face and maintaining family honor often leads parents to pressure their LGBT children into heterosexual marriages or other forms of concealment. This social pressure can have severe mental health implications, including depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation. Workplace discrimination. LGBT individuals in Kazakhstan also face significant discrimination in the workplace. Many report experiencing harassment, exclusion, and unfair treatment from colleagues and employers. The lack of legal protections means that there is little recourse for those who experience such discrimination. As a result, many LGBT people choose to remain closeted at work to avoid jeopardizing their careers. Factors contributing to discrimination. Influence of religion. While Kazakhstan is officially a secular state, religion plays a significant role in shaping societal attitudes. Islam, the predominant religion, traditionally condemns homosexuality. Religious leaders and conservative groups often promote anti-LGBT rhetoric, framing non-heteronormative identities as immoral and unnatural. This religious influence permeates various aspects of life, from family structures to educational institutions, reinforcing negative stereotypes and prejudices. Political climate. The political climate in Kazakhstan also contributes to the marginalization of LGBT people. The government tends to prioritize social stability and national unity, often at the expense of minority rights. LGBT issues are frequently sidelined, and there is little political will to address discrimination or promote equality. In some cases, authorities may even use LGBT issues to divert attention from other political or economic problems, further stigmatizing the community. Media representation. Media representation of LGBT individuals in Kazakhstan is limited and often negative. State-controlled media and conservative outlets tend to reinforce stereotypes and stigmas. Positive representations are rare, and LGBT issues are frequently ignored or misrepresented. Independent media and social media platforms offer some space for LGBT voices, but these are often subject to censorship and harassment. Living as LGBT in Kazakhstan. Personal stories. Everyday life. The daily lives of LGBT individuals in Kazakhstan vary widely depending on factors such as location, socioeconomic status, and personal networks. In urban centers like Almaty and Nur-Sultan, formerly Astana, there is a slightly higher level of acceptance, and some LGBT-friendly spaces exist. However, in rural areas, traditional values are more entrenched, and LGBT individuals often face harsher conditions. Personal narratives. Sharing personal stories can help illustrate the lived experiences of LGBT people in Kazakhstan. Here are a few anonymized accounts. Aliya's story. Aliya, a lesbian from Almaty, faced rejection from her family when she came out. Despite this, she found support within a small but tight-knit LGBT community. Aliya works in a progressive tech company that values diversity, but she remains cautious about being openly gay in public spaces due to fear of harassment. Daniyar's story. Daniyar, a gay man from a rural area, moved to Nur-Sultan to escape the intense pressure to marry a woman. In the city, he found more freedom to express his identity, but still faces workplace discrimination. Daniyar dreams of moving abroad to live openly without fear of persecution. Ayazulu's story. Ayazulu, a transgender woman, has faced significant challenges in her transition. The lack of legal recognition and medical support for transgender individuals in Kazakhstan has made her journey difficult. Despite these obstacles, Ayazulu is an outspoken activist, working to raise awareness and support for the transgender community. The role of LGBT activism. Grassroots organizations. Despite the challenges, several grassroots organizations work tirelessly to support LGBT individuals in Kazakhstan. These organizations provide essential services such as counseling, legal aid, and safe spaces. They also engage in advocacy and public education to combat stigma and promote equality. Notable organizations include Cook.Team, a prominent LGBT advocacy group that provides information, support, and a platform for LGBT voices. Feminita, an intersectional feminist organization that includes LGBT issues in its broader fight for gender equality and human rights. International support. International organizations and foreign embassies in Kazakhstan also play a crucial role in supporting local LGBT activists. They provide funding, training, and platforms for raising awareness. International pressure and solidarity are vital in holding the Kazakhstani government accountable for human rights violations and encouraging positive change. Looking forward prospects for change. Legal reforms. Advocates are pushing for comprehensive legal reforms to protect LGBT individuals from discrimination and violence. Key demands include the introduction of anti-discrimination laws, legal recognition of same-sex relationships, and protections for transgender individuals. Legal reforms are essential for creating a safer and more inclusive society, but achieving these changes will require sustained advocacy and political will. Social change. Changing societal attitudes is a long-term process that involves education, visibility, and dialogue. increasing positive representation of LGBT individuals in media, supporting LGBT-friendly initiatives, and fostering open conversations about sexuality and gender identity are crucial steps. Engaging religious and community leaders in these discussions can also help challenge prejudices and promote acceptance. Building alliances. Building alliances with other human rights and social justice movements can strengthen the fight for LGBT rights. Intersectional approaches that recognize the overlapping struggles of different marginalized groups can create a broader coalition for change. Collaborative efforts can amplify voices, share resources, and create a more powerful force for social justice. In conclusion, living as an LGBT person in Kazakhstan is fraught with challenges, from societal stigma and discrimination to legal and political obstacles. Despite these difficulties, there is a resilient and courageous community of LGBT individuals and activists working towards greater acceptance and equality. By understanding the historical, cultural, and socio-political context, and by supporting ongoing efforts for change, we can contribute to a future where LGBT people in Kazakhstan can live openly and without fear.